After more than 2 years of development, today we present you the Wilkon Streaming Cube. And we are highly focused because we produce the video about the Streaming Cube, also with the Streaming Cube, saving us any post-production. I'm not alone today. With me is Simon Panarale from the Wilkon Academy. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Hans.
Simon, you've been instrumental in the development of the Streaming Cube and you also performed numerous trainings with it by now. Can you please shortly describe what the Wilkon Academy actually does?
Yes, of course. You may consider Wilkon Academy as some sort of outsourced training department. So if a company or any other institution decides that they need a training program, we assist them in the development of these trainings, we conduct these trainings, and we provide the necessary digital learning infrastructure to make these trainings available.
And what learning formats do you offer?
Well, the list of topics varies a lot or is quite diverse because we develop those trainings on behalf of our customers, but we have a focus on technology, on computer stuff, on smart home or any hardware related trainings. The core of our trainings, until the pandemic, you could say the core of these trainings were classroom trainings with some digital extras, maybe preparation videos or any additional web-based training, learning content as an add-on. Since the pandemic, that changed a lot. I personally didn't conduct any pure classroom training since the pandemic. Everything has switched from a pure classroom format to a live online format, or at least to a hybrid format where only a part of the audience joins me in class and the others join the training remotely.
So from the participant's point of view, that sounds like PowerPoint and webcam. Is this really popular with your audience?
Actually it is, and we were even able to address new target markets beyond the German-speaking region where we are based. But you mentioned that PowerPoint and webcam format. I think it's not the way how we do it, because we were aware that we need something. If that should be a substitution for a classroom format, we need to come up with something which is more vivid, which is more entertaining and more engaging.
Okay, and how does that look like?
Well, when it comes to learner engagement, well, everything depends on your educational approach. We cannot talk about that today. But on the other hand, I think it is also very obvious that if it comes to the way how you present your format, that makes a great difference too. Because if something looks like this, a blurry webcam in the corner of the screen, text-based presentation which is covering pretty much everything in the screen, it may be a little bit frustrating for your audience, especially when the training lasts for a whole day or even longer in a 2-day or 3-day or whatever format. On the other hand, if you're able to capture something like this, or if you're able to capture a dialogue situation in front of the camera, maybe talk with a key expert or something, or if you're able to capture activities which are very common in a class situation, maybe where you try to develop something with your participants in a collaborative approach, and if you collecting the results on your flip chart or something, and if you're able to capture these settings also for your online audience, well, it is more entertaining and is also more engaging.
Well, it looks good, but isn't that too complex? I mean, you need additional people behind the scenes, you have additional costs and so on.
Yes, when we started all that at the beginning, it really was a little bit complicated. You can see here a picture which we took in 2020 when we started with all that. And you see that we needed extra stuff behind the camera. And my colleague, she was responsible to manage all those different video sources. She was responsible for audio. She needed a very detailed script, when to do what, and so on. And yeah, this was really complicated. But the truth is that if you want to do that on a daily base, you need to simplify the production procedure once again.
And this is where the StreamingCube comes in, right?
Yes, exactly. Because the StreamingCube, it is an all-in-one device, and you can place it wherever it doesn't bother you in the training room. But the cool thing about the StreamingCube is that it comes with a very, very simplified user interface. And this simplified user interface enables me, while I'm conducting the training itself, also to manage this technology, to manage all those different cameras, to manage audio, to switch between all those sources, but in a very simplified way so that I'm not distracted while I'm conducting the training itself.
So a single person can operate the StreamingCube. How does that work?
Well, I try to explain it or to clarify it a little bit. And as an example, I want to take a dialogue situation here. Maybe this is an expert talk with a lawyer or a technician, whatever, and we want to capture this dialogue situation with that key expert in front of the camera. To capture that setting, we could use multiple cameras. Maybe we have 3 cameras. One is directed to the first person, maybe the key expert. The other camera is directed to the moderator or something. And maybe we have even a 3rd camera which is capturing the whole setting. In a learning setting, maybe we also need additional content which we want to present. Maybe we have a presentation, but we can also have maybe a software which we have to train and where we can do the demos of that software. All these video sources, the cameras, computers, or whatever, can be connected with the StreamingCube, and we can use the StreamingCube to switch between those different video sources. And then the StreamingCube behaves like a webcam, so we are able to connect to pretty much any web conferencing tool, meeting tool, virtual classroom tool out there, and can put that content into there.
So that means I can use Zoom, Teams, Jitsi, GoToMeeting, whatever.
Yes, exactly. That doesn't matter at all.
Okay, can you show us how a single trainer actually operates the StreamingCube in practice?
Yes, of course. Well, when you start the StreamingCube, everything is organized in so-called scenes. And these scenes are designed to perfectly match with very common learning settings or product presentation settings and so on. So this is the first thing which you see on your remote control, which you see here on the bottom. You see that we have some scenes for classic live online formats. We have other settings which fit hybrid formats where I also have to manage the in-room audio and so on. We have scenes which are created for a pure recording situation when I want to record a training video or a product presentation or something. And we also have settings which are designed for situations where not only a single person or 2 persons are acting in front of the camera, but maybe even more in a small panel talk or something. So a lot of standard scenes are available with a StreamingCube, but on the other hand, we also can have customized scenes which are individually configured for specific needs and specific institutions or situations. Well, in order to demonstrate how I can operate the StreamingCube during instruction or so on, I will show you a very simple scene, a one-person online training. So if I switch to that setting, you see that my remote control instantly changes and that I only have a very reduced number of features over here. On the very bottom, I can switch between different video sources. I can have my main camera, I can have another camera. In this case, it's only providing another perspective with a little bit bigger view angle. And I can also have my PC here in full screen mode if I want that the content is well in the center of the stage. And in a lot of formats, we also have maybe a countdown timer, which we use in order to let everybody know when a coffee break is over or a lunch break is over or so on. So another video source. So very, very easy to switch between those different video sources here on the bottom. I can do other stuff too. I can fade in an overlay, a lower thirds with my trainer name. I could also control audio over here, mute my microphone or something. But it's very easy, very reduced, and it provides tactile feedback, so I even don't have to look at it when I want to switch between camera angles and so on. So this is how it is, how I use it on my desk. On the other hand, if I need more flexibility, if I want to move around in the room, for instance in a hybrid format, I can also use my smartphone to operate that. It can have the same user interface like that what you see over here, but I can also use a even more simplified user interface here on the smartphone.
So with the StreamingCube, you can go easily beyond the traditional classroom setup, right?
Yes, exactly. The StreamingCube provides a lot of flexibility, and we can use it for a classic learning setting like a lecture or a seminar or so. We can use it for an expert talk. It doesn't matter if that expert joins you remotely or if he or she is with you in the room. And we can also use it as a pure recording studio like we do it right now.
Simon, thank you very much for this overview.
Welcome.
More details about the mentioned key features will be featured in upcoming videos. And of course, we would be happy if you stay with us, click subscribe, or contact us directly.